So first off, the redistricting process in California was shaped by state propositions 11 and 20. This was a process created in order to ensure that we would get high quality, competent commissioners, but also commissioners that weren't being kind of put in place in order to try to advance a political party or an incumbent or some kind of group objective. It's not partisan, but it does have a kind of a slant towards voting rights and protecting communities of interest. And so they do have almost a kind of core set of beliefs that I think we got to see a lot of during the commission process. But it's not like red-blue partisan in its nature. There was increased population growth among Latinos and Asians, Latinos statewide and Asians most specifically in heavily Asian communities. And the Black population grew, but also dispersed a lot. So we saw lower density of Black population in certain communities in LA and in the East Bay in Northern California. And that has challenges for the commission process. One thing that became apparent through the process was that we had these increasing populations of minorities and minority communities in California. And a lot of the advocacy groups and the commissioners themselves spoke about the fact that they wanted to make sure that as districts were implemented, they were not dealing with this growth of minority population by reducing the number of minority seats. In fact, in the redistricting process, we saw a real expansion of the number of districts that are majority minority in the state. We have state redistricting, we have the national perspective, but we also can't forget about what's happening locally. The state implemented new policies under the State's Fair Maps Act that change redistricting at the local level. The Fair Maps Act imposes kind of a structure and criteria that pulls from some of the elements of the State Redistricting Commission's process. The most important or critical ones of those is that it disallows the use of incumbents or political parties in the creation of lines. The criteria are ranked, and the only place where it actually mentions anything about incumbents is to say that incumbents cannot be used as a community of interest. And we're seeing the results of those first redistrictings under counties and a number of cities that have primaries right now. And while we're not seeing perfection, we are seeing areas where there's still, I think, serious concerns about the outcomes of the redistricting process. We are, I think, as a state benefiting from a lot more transparency, a lot more public engagement, a lot more tools and ways in which the public can involve themselves in the local redistricting. And we hope that it's making for better lines ultimately.